Hello everyone. Today, we're gonna be learning how to build. So, I've been playing Minecraft since I found out what the internet was, and yet my builds still look like this. That is to say, it looks pretty terrible. Today, we're gonna change my skill level in building in 3 hopefully simple steps. Before we start though, I want to ask you guys to just subscribe, maybe like, a comment would be nice too. This is literally my second video ever, and I'm kind of trying to get onto that YouTube grind. Mostly just because I've literally nothing better to do. So, any support you guys can give me is much appreciated. Okay, step 1. For this step, we're gonna start off simple and just try to make a pretty basic house. Basically, I want to be able to rebuild this later and turn it into something that actually looks good. Perfect. Okay, so the outside can definitely have some improvement, and the inside can definitely have some improvement. Basically, everything can have improvement. And I suck. It's definitely not anything too crazy. It's very, very square. And the roof is definitely something to be worked on. But for a first attempt, I think that this kind of vibe, this simple, very basic kind of vibe is what I'm going for. However, before we actually move on to step 2, I want to do a couple more of these. This build is very limited in its palette. And by that I mean it uses oak wood, stone, and that's about it. And although that's fine, I do want to try some more similar builds that just use some blocks a little more differently so that I can try to express my creativity a bit more. You know, now that I actually look at it closely, I basically just made a fancier villager house, didn't I? Same palette. God, I'm very creative. Okay, so second build, totally different vibe from that one. So main things, wanted to make it less square, so I have this little dome off the side and I have it as a circle So much less square. It's definitely a totally different vibe too. This is, like I said earlier, kind of villager-y. This is, I don't even know what this is. Castle vibe, I guess. Kind of dark. It's like black and white, you know, with some blue accents around. Interior. This is pretty basic. I like the campfires, so I have a little what is this called? Chimney. That's it. And then in the actual thing, we have a staircase up and this doorway and a lot of bookshelves. I love using the bookshelves. I've discovered it's like so cool. It looks so good. Big fan. Barrels, also love barrels. They're like chests, but they look more aesthetically pleasing. But yeah, I will say that the interior for this one is definitely better, but I actually like the exterior of this one more. It's more creative. There's more going on here than there, and that was the goal. But there's definitely some kinks to figure out. I'm pretty satisfied with this, but I think I'm gonna make one more and try to focus on more of the colorful side of things. Okay, so I've made my third build and I'm actually really happy with this. I have this white, blue, and orange kind of color, which is honestly my skin. That's literally me. It's much more colorful, which is the goal, so I'm happy with that. And I did a much more kind of blocky, still square shape, but more random. Like they don't line up and they're all kind of out the way. It's kind of like Lego bricks almost. That's kind of what I was thinking of when I was making it. And then I have two floors. This first floor, the interior. I have another copper golem because they're cute and they fit the orange blue vibe I was going for. Some storage. Oh wow. I did not know that was what those sound like. I think that's the first time I've opened a copper chest. Second floor, you go up these stairs. And then pretty chill, more bookshelves, love bookshelves. Stairs leading up to this little bedroom. It's pink because pink is nice. I don't know, man. But I'm actually pretty happy with this, like really, really happy. I textured all of these with just a bunch of random white blocks and I think it looks really good. I will say that it is kind of like I didn't have it's messy is what I'm trying to say. In terms of design, I really don't know how I'm gonna get better than this, and maybe that's kind of a cocky thing to say, but so proud. I'm actually so proud of it. Let's move on to step 2. So for this step, I literally just searched up how to build on YouTube and then clicked on the first few videos to pop up. I watched a lot of Green. As you can see, they were pretty old videos, but that was fine because it was all basic stuff about, you know, size and shape and some detailing stuff. I even watched a little video about gradients, as you can see right now, and that was pretty interesting. I also watched this video made by Snarple, and it was about like texturing and colors and whatnot. That wasn't what it was all about, but that was a big point, and it was a really cool video. Like, it really opened my eyes to realizing just how complicated Minecraft building could be, and it was a game changer. Okay, so I just finished step 2, and I want to kind of make a little list of all the things that I ended up actually learning. First big thing, shape is such a big deal. This shape, it's just a rectangle. This shape is also just rectangles. However, it's building upon itself, having multiple rectangles, thus its shape is more diverse, thus it's more interesting, thus it's a better build. Another big thing, size really matters. After watching a couple videos, I realized that by making my build so small, I actually ended up limiting myself a lot. With small builds like these, for one thing, you notice the variety in block much more easily. Interiors are much smaller and you can't do as much with them. And small details like this bookshelf end up actually taking up basically this whole wall, including the window. Because my scale is so small, the amount of freedom I have in my detailing is also very limited. One of the more important things I learned is that texture is all about color. It's the color that's important, not the little individual pixels. And this actually ties into the previous point about size. Because it's so easy to tell the difference at this scale, it also makes it hard to be able to use the two different blocks appropriately. Now, the biggest thing I realized when watching these tutorials and tips and guides and whatnot is that practice is what makes you good at building. Obviously in this video, I can't spend hours and days and months and hell even years for some of them practicing Minecraft building, but it's definitely a huge point that needs to be acknowledged. I'm not going to be able to become one of those crazy builders today because of that reason. If I want to, I need to spend real time and real effort into practicing, just like you need to for every other skill. Now here's a big one. Building is an art. I mean it in a unironic, literal way. And when I was watching those videos, I realized terms they used, the tips they gave, it's the exact same things you need to be wary of when painting or drawing or even probably sculpting in this case, considering it's 3D. If you want to become really good at this stuff, you have to stop thinking of it as just a video game and start thinking of it in a more complicated, deeper sense than that. I'm so used to thinking Minecraft as just this fun little video game, it's hard to switch on my brain into thinking of it as something more profound than that. And of course, practice does also tie into that. But this mindset that you have to have is definitely a big first step. So I have 3 different levels of builds. This is level 1, level 2, and then level 3. Now that we've completed step 1 and 2, let's move on to step 3. Rebuilding. Okay. Level 1 rebuilding the original has been completed. I am really proud of what I've made here. I made it slightly larger, just not by too much. Honestly, the actual house is maybe even a little smaller when I really look at it, but the size of the build as a whole is much larger, which gave me more freedom to use the little details and texturing in the ways that I wanted to, and I wasn't restricted too much. In terms of shape, I also have it very different. I do have, it's still somewhat rectangular, as in this big main part here is still, you know, squared, 4 right corners, you know, that kind of vibe. But I have 3 extrusions, one coming out the doorway, this patio, and a smaller one up here as just a little window. I have a little bit of leaves, greenery around here. This entrance is a little crowded, I will admit, but I'm pretty happy with it. You know, there's still windows, some lanterns about, greenery. I have these flowers. This one's supposed to be open, but it's daytime, so it's not. Now we have 2 ways to go. We go up, it's just a bed, 2 crafting tables, pretty chill, nothing super crazy in this room. Come down here. This is just kind of storage almost, nothing super crazy. I am pretty happy with these banners. It's very random, I didn't know why I decided to do it, but I did, and I'm glad I did because it looks good. This patio, this balcony kind of thing, I think it looks good. So that's the interior for the top half, and then the bottom half here, it's really dark. I should probably put a lantern here. Perfect. I have another jukebox, just cuz. So I have barrels, these guys, smokers, another lantern, blah 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 blah, and a little corner area with a bunch of these furnaces and blast furnaces. For this underground basement area, I tried to do more of like a floor plan almost. Instead of just leaving it as an open big room, I have these walls to separate the different parts, which I'm actually really happy I did. I think it makes it look a bit more organized and realistic. All in all, this was huge. I'm really happy with this. So now we're moving on to level 2. Part 3 level 2 has been completed. I am actually pretty happy about this tower, dude. I'm a big fan of this tower. I'm gonna be honest, when I was building it, I was really skeptical. Like, seriously skeptical. Honestly, I thought it would end up looking worse than the original, but now that it's done, it looks so much better, like a million times better. Have the same little guys in the corner, and the flags are around too. Have some windows around. For this mini one, I use these copper grates as windows because the panes, and I don't really like the way glass, like full glass blocks look, and the panes obviously wouldn't look good because it's just straight vertical. Interior wise, let's start over here. This is pretty similar. Have furnaces, blast furnaces, barrels, and nothing too crazy. Just a little industrial-esque kind of area. The campfires are still here. There is still a little chimney. Honestly, not much change. So you go up the stairs here. I have this little striped floor, and it's a small space, so interiors are hard. But I have a little library, kind of. The water elevator. You go up, brings you to the second floor. Got some more of these banner shelves things. I liked how it looked in the level 1 rebuild. Barrels, brewing stand. And up here is the bed. It's very simple. It's literally just a bed and a crouching table. And here you can come out and walk along the little bridge to this mini tower. Nothing in here, just a chest. It's not much you can really fit in here, so. And you might ask, how do you get down? Because you can't go down the way you came up. It's through this trapdoor. Flick it, drop into the water, no fall damage. Brilliant. I just realized the flags are actually pointing in the wrong directions, which is kind of annoying, but I'm just gonna leave it. Because you know what? Who's gonna stop me? Yeah. That's what I thought. Now, we're gonna move on to part 3, level 3. Okay, part 3, level 3 is now completed. Oh, is now completed. I did take a bit of a different approach on this one, but exterior-wise, I'm relatively happy with how it turned out. I think it probably could have been better, honestly, but I did a few things that I thought were interesting and that I liked the creativity of. Yeah, there's a few things I'm not terribly happy with, but a few things that I actually am very happy with. Something I was really happy with that I want to highlight because I'm going to brag, basically, as you can see, I put all these blocks that I used in the original edition, and I put them out trying to bring them from darkest to lightest, you know? And so I put it to darkest to lightest, and I tried to do it so, particularly for this building, considering it's so tall, a bit of a gradient. So it went from darker tone up to the lighter one. I kind of tried to use a bit of almost a city kind of vibe. So, you know, this is supposed to be like an office building or something. Exterior wise, tried to make it a bit different vibe, not just a bunch of bricks, but tried to have a real idea behind it. The idea of which being just a bunch of little mini city buildings kind of merged together. Really happy with this big orange building in particular. The other ones are just kind of okay, but this wall I'm actually really satisfied with. I think this smoke was a really creative idea. I'm really happy I did that. I think that's a big selling point of the whole city vibe I was going for, and it definitely adds a lot of interest in the build. Interior wise was a struggle, and I'm really not satisfied with how the interior went. Like, out of all 3, this one definitely had the worst interior. So first buildings in here, we have this amalgamation of books. I have the bed. Yes, yes, lanterns. Yes, more bookshelves, always bookshelves. And that's pretty basic. Come up here. It's kind of a crowded little hallway, but I actually think it's okay. There's some candles, a nice window view of our little tower. Go up, And this is our porch, our open roof view kind of. Oh, there's a village. Oh, yeah. The last area you can enter is this office building kind of thing. Come in, you know, there's some grindstones. You can find some barrels, some furnaces, some smokers. You come up the stairs. This is just kind of a little viewing area, a bookshelf where you can read, there's a clock. And then you can come up a second time, to another area. Copper Golem, I think he's just kind of, yeah. I think I have him in every single one of my builds. I think that just needs to become a trend because he's adorable, dude. He's adorable. Chest. Yes, that is exactly the music disc you think it is. And we have a little porch balcony out here. Pretty chill, nothing too crazy. Yeah, honestly, interior-wise, not terribly satisfied. But I really just could not think of better ways to do it. This build could have been better. I think it's definitely better than this one. It's much more interesting. I think I was able to really show some more creativity in it. But it's not my best work. It's not my best work. But there are definitely some parts of it I really, really love. And I think that shows some growth nonetheless. Whether or not it's inherently bad or inherently not great or inherently good. I definitely improved with this build. There's definitely signs of improvement here. And honestly, that's the most important part. So I'm pretty chill. Alright guys, so thank you so much for watching. This is only my second video I've ever made. And you know, it's probably not the best thing that you've ever watched, but I'm glad you stuck around for this long. I hope you will continue to support me. For the next video, I was thinking of doing a PvP video. Really bad at PvP. I've always been bad at PvP, but I think people who are good at it are really awesome. So, you know, I'm kind of interested in trying to learn some of that skill just a little bit. And if you guys are interested in that, let me know. If you have any ideas for it, let me know. And yeah, like, subscribe, comment, all that shamads. Thank you. Have a good day and good night.